Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Hold on just a second because I just realized I did not plug my phone up. I'm not trying to. Hold on, y'all. I do not want to be on this live and this thing go bonkers and be gone, right? All right. I meant to plug it up. Hey, Miss Wilson. Secret Society, what's up? I appreciate y'all. Y'all played at my wedding. I'll never forget it. You had the place all the way turned up. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How are you? JODDY, welcome back. Mr. Cheney, what's going on? What's going on? Y'all know what I'm back for. My 50 terms in 50 days. I'm back once again. I am determined to do these 50 terms in 50 days, y'all. When I say I'm determined, I am determined. It is going to happen. It is going to happen. So for the people who are here, thank you so much for coming. Can y'all throw some hearts up for me? I was told by a very trusted advisor that if you throw hearts up in the comments, it tells more people that I'm talking this morning. So my name is Malika Jackson. If you're new to me, Malika Jackson, team lead of the Jackson. Did I say that right? Team lead of the Jackson team, powered by Bennett Realty Solutions. We cover the entire DMV, and I also hold an international real estate license as well. And my gift and my goal is to help as many people as I can access wealth through real estate. That's what I do. In my 15-year career, I've helped over 500 families master their real estate goals, whether they were buying, selling, investing, or renting out their properties. That's what I do. That's my gift and my goal, and I'm going to do that to the day I die. You hear me? So yeah, I hold a bachelor's degree in business and a degree in information systems management. So as I say almost every day, I need you to know that I know what I'm doing in these real estate streets. All right, and today, I always tell people what I have today. I did something different today. Let me tell you. So, Starbucks is taking all my money, right? I know I'm not alone. So I was doing hot chocolate for a little while at home. Guess what I have today? Can somebody guess? It's perfect. Hot apple cider. Oh my God, y'all, so good. It's so good. Okay, guess what my term of the day is? My term for today is MLS. Does anybody know what that means? I know you do. Some of you do, some of you don't. And let me tell you this real quick before we start. The reason why I focus on education this time of year is because I have a couple streams of income, and I focus on education this time of year because people tend to have real estate goals. They say, I want to do this by the end of the year, or I want to start doing this in the beginning of the year. So I have a few wings of my business. I have the luxury line, I have the accessible line, I have an evaluation business, and I also have education. So I do a lot of things, but they're all in real estate because I don't want to be all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So I tend to focus on education around this time of year because I remember when I was purchasing my first home and I was not a real estate agent yet. Actually, that's what propelled me to get my real estate license. I was sitting at the closing table with this agent who had not done much. And I looked at the check. It was $6,000. I was like, you know what? You know what? I could do what he did and probably better. And I kind of got screwed, right? On my first transaction, I educated myself so that I could buy. I was 29, still working in a laboratory. And there were some things that could have been better. Like there were some things that if I would have seen the house now, I would have never purchased it, or I would have done things much more differently because now I can just look at a house like that and tell that it has problems. But then, you know, as a 29-year-old and new homeowner, I didn't know. So I sat at that table and I said, starting today, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to get a new career. I'm going to get my real estate license, and I'm going to help people through this process so that they never, ever, ever go through what I went through with this transaction right here. So 15 years later, here I am. Still rocking the real estate game. Okay, so our term of the day is MLS. Now, usually I do this with no notes, but the MLS is such a robust system that I had to take notes today. Like, I didn't want you to miss anything. So let me tell you who these chats are for. Anybody can chime in. You're welcome, right? However, they are for a couple people specifically. If you are new to real estate and you just want to like brush up on some terms so that things make more sense to you, you are welcome here. Because I remember when I was going through my first home purchase, the agent was talking. He was talking so fast. I didn't understand the terms. I didn't know what he was saying. I didn't know if I could what to trust. Like it was an experience. So I figured if I at least share these terms, then things won't seem so foreign and it'll be more easy for you to understand and you'll be more comfortable with your purchase process, because that's one thing I've learned in 15 years. This is an emotional process. It taxes everything. It taxes your money. It taxes your time. It taxes your patience. It taxes the roof over your head. Hey, Dr. Snoopy Lover, she's here. Veterinarian extraordinaire. What's going on? And former client, or client and friend. How are you, my sister? Haven't seen you in forever. Can you believe our 30th high school? We went to high school together. My sister. Can you believe our 30th high school reunion is coming up? I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Anyway, so that's what we try to focus on this time of year. So the MLS is such a robust system. I need you to cover everything. And so this is for people who are new to home ownership. This is for people who are new to selling property. This is for people who are new to investing in property. Or if you've done these things before and you just need a refresher, you're welcome here. Also, this is for experienced agents. Maybe you need a refresher. Nope, we look too good for that. Girl, I'm trying to hold it down. Just turned 45. Trying to hold it down, okay? And I was the baby of the class. It was only like 2 of us at that age. So we all trying to hold it down. Anyway, and this is also for new agents that might need, to know some of these terms to make their careers easier. So everyone is welcome here, but specifically for people who want to buy, sell, or invest before the year's over or in the new year, or for agents who need a refresher, or for new agents who need to know these terms to help catapult their business to the next level. Oh, and I just celebrated a little success story. Can I tell you? I doubled my sales from last year to this year. Can I tell you? I'm so amped. And y'all know I had a year this year. I had some things go down this year. I could write a book. Matter of fact, I'm going too fast. I'm going to write a book about some things that have gone down. I'm going to write a book on my life, okay? Because there's so much that I don't share on social media. But that leads me to tell you some other good news. I'm actually dropping a Homeownership 101 book, ebook, and workbook in the spring. Hey, I'm working with my designers on that now, so y'all stay tuned for that, okay? That'll be my first real book. Anyway, let's get into it. The MLS. So the MLS stands for Multiple Listing Service. And see all my notes here? Can I tell y'all something? I have a lot of gifts. Handwriting is not one of them. Let me show y'all. I'm almost ashamed to even show you. They say when your handwriting is bad, that means you're very smart, and I hope that's right, because my handwriting is awful. I used to always be like, I want pretty handwriting like the other girls. And it just never happened. Look how bad it is. It's terrible. Anyway, all right, so the MLS. The MLS stands for Multiple Listing Service. Every region in the country has an MLS. They're called different things. We used to be, like years ago, we were under a platform called Keystone. That was our MLS system. Now we're under a platform called Bright. That is our MLS system right now. So I have access in my system to, of course, everything in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And I can also go up and down the East Coast in my specific MLS system. Every MLS region is different. So depending on where you're buying, selling, or investing, you will be in a different MLS system. So it's your agent's responsibility, it's your agent's responsibility to make sure that you're getting the information, accurate information, up-to-date information, real-time information from the MLS system. Now, the reason why I say real-time information is because things literally change in a heartbeat in this business, in this market, because we're still kind of in a seller's market. It's kind of moving on over to some, looking a little buyer-ish, but we're still in the seller's market. So it's your agent's responsibility to keep you up on those things. And one of the ways that we as agents do that is setting up alerts in the MLS system. So if you're purchasing right now, selling right now, investing right now, your agent should have an alert set up for you, right? And it's called a drip campaign. Tell your agent, if you're not working with me, which is totally fine, tell your agent to set you up on a drip campaign. And what that will do is drip you market updates, drip you property updates, drip you, like say you say, I want to buy in Northwest DC only in 20011. Your agent can set up the system so that anytime something is listed in that zip code, when it goes on the market, when things go under contract, when things are sold, it will be sent to you. Couldn't you keep up really good on the MLS with that information? Yeah, I think so. And even if you're selling, tell your agent to set you up on a drip campaign, because as you're moving through your selling process, if something sells around the corner from you, you need to know. You need to know what it sold for. You need to know what condition it was in. You need to know how long it took to sell, because all those things are going to impact your sale. Even after you move in, all of my clients, see, this is a service-based business, right? You have to give experience and service. You want them to have a great experience, an unusual an unusually wonderful experience and you want to be service driven, right? So all of my clients, after they go to closing, when they purchase a home, I set a drip campaign up for the subdivision that they purchase in, because this is an investment first. And they need to know what things are doing in the area that they're investing in. When you're putting money and time and repairs and you're investing in a neighborhood, you need to know what's going on over there. So I'll set up a drip campaign for them. Now, when you already purchase, I'm not going to do the real time thing. You don't need to know every single time something happens. And that's, I have some owners who do, but it's usually a monthly campaign, a monthly drip, a monthly update where you'll get an update on everything that happened over the past month in your subdivision. So you can say, oh, this sold over here, that sold over there. I bought my house at $500,000. This one over here sold for $525,000. That means I might make some, equity too. So that's good to have. So that's the basic purpose of the drip campaign. Now, some of this may get boring for people who are not in the real estate industry, because some of this is kind of heavy towards agents, but I want to make sure I cover everything. I'm doing 50 terms in 50 days. Some of the terms are agent driven, some are buyer driven, some are seller driven. Some will cover what everyone needs. So today it's a lot of stuff for buyers, a lot of stuff for sellers, but there is going to be a portion that's going to cover stuff for agents that people outside of the real estate market might not want. But anyway, I'm just going to give it to you. I hope you pick up what I'm putting down and use it for your best interest. Okay? All right, so here we go. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 10 things that you can do inside of the MLS system. Did you know that? At least 10. So now this is the thing. I use the MLS system almost every day. I have been doing this for a very long time. When they have MLS 101 classes, I go. I still go, because there's always new features, there's always new updates, upgrades. Like, they're always doing something in the MLS system that I need to know. As a matter of fact, they just changed one. I think we got the alert maybe a week or two ago. They changed how we upload pictures into the MLS, because it used to be kind of a laborious process and we would be putting picture after picture after picture. Now you can upload them all at one time. You can edit them inside the MLS for the agents on the line. We can do a lot more with our photos now. Y'all. Does my hair look weird sticking out right here? Something's sticking out strange. Whatever. Anyway, okay. So let's talk about search, because that's one of the main things that we do inside of the MLS. We do our searches, right? You can go in there and you can search so much. You can search so many things that most people don't use. And so, of course, we go in there, we search, residential properties. Did you know you can also search commercial properties? You can search land. You can search, all kind of things. They have so when you go in there, it'll have 4 or 5 places you can choose what you want. You can say, I want to choose some residential homes for sale, residential homes for lease, or I want to choose commercial homes for sale or commercial homes for lease. Or you can say, I want to look at multifamily homes for sale. I want to look at 2 units. I want to look at 4 units. I want to look at land. Okay, I want to look at land that's by the water. I want to look at land that's not by. You can search so much. So that's our main thing with the MLS system, is searching and finding properties that our clients want to have or want to purchase. So there's so much you can do in that search criteria. Just want to let you know there's other things that you can find other than just homes to live in. There's so much in the search platform. All right, that's one. Number 2. So this is the clients tab. There's a clients tab in the MLS system too, right? There's a mat in here. There's a clients tab in the MLS system, and I use that clients tab a lot, actually. I use it a whole lot. Y'all don't talk about me. My nails not done today. My nails need a break. And I don't care, because I'll still be cute nail, no nails, okay? Okay. There's a clients tab. Now, as agents, we plug our clients' information into the clients tab, right? And we can use that for a lot of things. You can use that for the drip campaign that I was just telling you about. You can use it to send clients messages, properties. You can download their information in there to communicate with them on things. And clients love that feature in the MLS system. Now, if you're a buyer, let me tell you, there's so much fun you can have inside of the MLS. You can go in there and there's a whole diagram of emotions, right? Or of goals, I would say, on how you feel about different properties. So if your agent sends you, maybe I shouldn't be showing off all the back of this paper. Taxes. If your agent sends you some properties, you can go to the top and click hearts if you love them. You can click this X box if you just don't want to ever see anything like that again. That communicates to us what you like and helps us navigate to what you like and what you don't like. There's a maybe section. Like, you can do so much. You can send them to maybe your husband or your wife, or if you have someone else kind of looking at properties with you. You can do so much as a buyer inside of the MLS system. So make sure that you and your agent are communicating in the MLS system using those little diagrams to tell your agent how you're feeling about what they're sending you to help them navigate and send you better stuff. Okay. Again, the auto email is super important. I talked about the drip campaign. If you're in the MLS, it does not say drip campaign. It says auto email. And let me tell you a little trick that I learned like 14 years ago. I sat at my computer. I was uber frustrated. Do you hear me? I was so frustrated because I could not figure out how to set up this drip campaign. But this is what y'all have to do, agents, new agents especially. Let me tell y'all a little tip. When you go in and set up the automatic drip, you have to pull the list of properties, and there's no automatic drip until you hit save. Now when you hit save at the bottom, it's going to open up all these different save as types, right? There's going to be a little small piece that's so easy to miss, and that's why sometimes it's hard to set up the drip campaign. It's going to say save as auto email, but you got to go way down in there. You got to click a couple things before you see save as auto email. Now that's where you'll be able to go in and save things for your client, and then it'll ask you who you want it to be sent to. There's a box in there where you can message your client, like if it's a recurring email or if it's the first email, and then you can also put how often you want this client to get the email. So you can set it up for weekly, monthly, twice a week. Like right now, when I have buyers that are in the market right now, there's an ASAP selection. I set it up for ASAP because properties are going on and off the market so fast right now. I need to know right away. So that way, as soon as something is listed, I'm telling y'all all my secrets, because my contract close rate is high. Most of the time when I have a buyer, I get them under contract quick. And this is one of the tools that I use. I use the ASAP feature. That way, as soon as an agent hits active, they submit a property to the market, I get an email and my client gets an email. And whoever gets to each other first, either I'll call her or him and I'll say, hey, did you see that property was just listed that is in your subdivision and in your price point and just what we're looking for? Or the client will call me and say, hey, Malika, did you see, what just happened? So that's the purpose of the auto email. Okay, the next tab, listings. Listings are the cream of the crop, if you did not know. Let me tell you why agents fight for listings so much. So this is for our agents in the room, new agents in the room. Listings are where the money, the power, and the respect lie. Okay, I'll tell you straight up. It's the money and the power and the respect. When you have a listing, you work about 8 hours as opposed to a buyer where you work about 32 hours for the same commission. You picking up what I'm putting down? If you're an agent, you need to focus on getting listings. And the reason why that is because the listings bring the buyers. So I know a lot of people sometimes put a lot of money into buyer referral systems, which is totally fine. You can accomplish more putting that money into listing referral systems, because when your sign is outside, buyers are going to call you. You're going to get buyers, right? You want the listing, because guess what? If you have the listing, like I'm very listing heavy right now. I love listings. My very first sale in Virginia was a listing. If you have the listing, my job is the listings, the homes are like my kids. It's like my babies, right? My job is to put this house's best foot forward and make it look amazing so that when someone comes to buy it, there's no question. Of course, they want to write a contract on it. I make it look pretty from the outside. I make it smell good. My marketing is great. I have a very robust marketing system for any sellers on the line who want to sell their property. I can get your home sold, baby. Top dollar, baby. Okay? Top dollar. Anyway, so that's a listing agent's job. So after I put the house on the market, what do? I do this. Sit back and wait. Now, there's a lot to do. There's contract management. Once I do get a contract, I have to call and make sure that the financing is straight. There's a lot to do, but I'm not out, using up my gas and time showing houses. Right now, I still do show property, but I'm just trying to explain the difference between the selling agent's job and the buyer's agent's job, right? Hey, lady, I see you. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to you yesterday. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Okay, so now this is the other thing. When you have a listing, And this is Miss Flair. This is a good one for you. We're talking about where to focus our marketing dollars. The term of the day is MLS, and we're on the listing section, a multiple listing service. But I'm kind of diverting, and we're talking about why listings are so important, because this is a new agent that's going to be on the line. When you start marketing and putting money into marketing, focus on listings. And the reason why is because, like I just said, it only takes 8 hours to close on a transaction with the listing, as opposed to 32 hours on average to close on a buyer that you've been running around and using your time and gas. Listings, you do everything from your computer. You do have to go to the property, you have to do a listing appointment, you have to do marketing, but it's a lot less work. So you want to focus on listings. If you list well, the buyers will come. They're going to see your signs, they're going to see your marketing, and you get your buyer pool from that. So focus your money, your attention, your dollars, your marketing on listings. This is the other thing. If a contract falls apart and you're the buyer's agent, you got to take your ass back in the street and show some more. Don't judge me. Y'all know I say bad words, but I know what I'm talking about. You got to get back out there in your car and show some more and show some more and show some more. As a listing agent, if a contract falls apart, okay, what do? Click. I just put it back active and sit back and wait some more. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference between a listing agent and a buyer's agent. And let me tell you something that just came in my brain. I haven't thought about this in years. I can't believe this just popped in my brain. About 20 years ago, see, this is how God will set you up for success, okay? About 20 years ago, y'all know I grew up in Northwest Georgia Avenue, uptown, okay? Uptown girl. I was at the, is it at Shell gas station right across from Roosevelt? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a Shell gas station. I pulled up to get some gas. There was this guy there. He was dressed amazing. His car was fly. His outfit was fly. His shoes was fly. And I was like, man, I wonder what he does. I don't even remember how we started talking, but he told me that he was in real estate. And he said, by the way, focus on listings. And I did not know what he was talking about at the time. I mean, I had no clue what he was talking about at the time. I didn't know what a listing was. I knew it had something to do with real estate, but I didn't know what a listing was. So he told me, he said, look, you're going to spend this amount of hours on a listing and this amount of hours on a buyer. Focus on listings. 20 years ago. And that still rings in my head. And he was absolutely right. All right, so that's the listings thing. So in the MLS system, when you go to the listings tab, you can add listings if you're an agent. You can edit listings. You can cancel them if you need to take them down. You can do a lot inside of the MLS on your listings tab. All right, so that's what it's for. Okay, the next tab. So we're going through the MLS and all the things that you can do in the MLS, because I would say 75% of the people do not use the MLS to its advantage. They don't use it to their advantage, I would say. And that's why when the when the MLS 101 class comes out, even though I've been doing this 15 years, I still go. I'm in there with all of the other brand new agents, and there are some experienced agents in there like me, but they always change things. Oh my goodness, y'all, hold up. I just remembered I didn't bring my microphone. 2 turntables and a microphone. Hold on. I got it right here. I wasn't even using it. Let's get that straight. Okay. I'm supposed to look professional. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So, what was I saying? Is this blocking my cute little shirt? Let's put it right here. Whatever. All right. So, we're talking about all the things that are in the MLS. People do not use the MLS to its advantage. There are at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things that you can use the MLS. We go in there, we search properties, we find our little properties that we need for our buyers, we send it to them, and that's it. We don't use this platform as best as we should. So we're just going over some of the other things that you can do in the MLS system. All right, next. Financials. Oh my goodness. This is one of my favorite parts of the MLS system. Let me tell you why. So this is all the things that you can do inside of the financials tab. So you can pull a net sheet. A net sheet is super important. A net sheet can be used for a buyer or a seller, and it'll tell that person all of their expenses to anticipate in purchasing or selling a home. That's huge. There is also a tax rate sheet that I've used quite a bit, because when you're writing an offer for a property, if you're an agent or if you're a buyer and you're submitting an offer, there are transfer and recording taxes that you have to pay when you purchase this property. And people always say, well, how much are those taxes anyway? If I'm negotiating stuff, I need to know how much those taxes are going to be. In the MLS system, there's a tax rate sheet. So based on what county you're going to buy in, that tax rate sheet will tell you what your taxes are. Now, they're usually 1% of the sales price, depending on what county you're in, and you can calculate it from that, because I'll tell you a little secret. One of the ways that I get my offers accepted a lot is to pay the seller's transfer and recording fees, because that fee is usually it's a fee charged by the state and the county to transfer property in or out of your name. And since it benefits both the buyer and the seller, that fee is usually split 50-50. However, if I'm representing a buyer and I know I'm up against 5 or 6 other offers, I'm going to offer to pay that for the seller because it will increase their bottom line. So there's things that you can do with these offers to get your offer more attention, and that's one of my little tips and tricks that I do. I offer to pay the seller's transfer and recording fees. When you're doing that, a buyer wants to know, what does that mean for me? How much does that mean I'm going to be paying? Hey, Daniel, what's going on? Yeah, throw the hearts up for me. Throw the hearts up for me. Thank you so much. So there's a tax rate sheet in the MLS system. Daniel, we're talking about the MLS system, the system that we use to pull property, and there's so many other things that you can do with it, so that's what we're talking about. Okay, there's also a very important form in there called the amortization schedule. It's a long name for a long form. Oh my God, the AM schedule, as we call it, or the amortization schedule, I think that might be term 52. I think I might need to add that to my 50 terms in 50 days. I think that might be my second bonus word. I already wrote my list out. It really might already be on my list, but let me tell you what an amortization is. Trying to drink and talk. Slow down, Malika. Let me tell you what the amortization schedule is. It is a form that's at least 10 or 11 pages. Thank you for all those hearts. I love you for that. Appreciate you for that. It's a form of about 10 or 11 pages. It is long. It has the breakdown of all your mortgage payments for your whole 30-year note. Let me tell you why that's important. Because you are paying a lot of interest. The government says you have to be told, you have to be disclosed, they have to share with you how much interest you're paying. That amortization schedule will show you every single payment that you're going to pay from today until 30 years is over, and it's going to break down how much is principal, which is the amount that you're paying to pay off your note, and how much is interest. Your first 10 years, you're paying mostly interest because the bank is going to make their money first. They're going to make their money. Then you'll start to see where it switches a little bit, where you start paying more principal. Principal is the amount that you're actually paying on your loan. So the amortization schedule is super important. It's always in your closing package. It's always there. You'll see it about halfway in your settlement stack of sheets of paper. Back to the MLS, there's always an amortization schedule in there. So you can plug in what you are going to pay for the house. You can plug in how long your mortgage is going to be, and then we'll do an amortization schedule for you so you can see about, what you're going to be paying, how much is principal, how much is interest, and all that kind of stuff. It also talks about when you're private. This is getting a little detailed, but it also talks about, if you know what PMI is, private mortgage insurance, the insurance that the bank charges you sometimes. The insurance, they charge you money to make sure that they're protected. So there's a private mortgage insurance that will drop off with certain finance types after a certain amount of time. Once you pay 20% in to your loan, with certain finance types, you can drop your private mortgage insurance, and that is also on your amortization schedule. Okay, also under financials is your mortgage calculator. That's one of my favorites. You can pull up a mortgage calculator online, but there's also a mortgage calculator in the MLS system. And why is that important? Because you want to know how much you're paying per month. So of course you got, approved. Your lender probably told you, okay, well, this is your approval amount. So at this approval amount, this is how much your monthly note is going to be, which is fine. Your lender should share that with you. But when you're out there looking, and you're looking at homes, and one might be $225, one might be $250, one might be $275, you're approved for $275. You might buy anything at or under that price. You might want to know the difference. Now, I can tell you now, this is important. People start tripping over, I don't want to pay it's $220 to $240. I don't want to go up $20,000. Let me tell you something. $20,000 over 30 years is nothing. So if you're ever in a negotiation setting, and people maybe there's a seller that said, okay, I want $5,000 more. Give them the $5,000. $5,000 over 30 years is nothing. It's not worth losing a home you love. But the way that I can show you that on paper in numbers is by using the mortgage calculator. So like I said, you can pull one up online, or you can use the one in the MLS. Next, the market tab. All right, here we go. The market tab. So the market tab shows you a lot of stuff that's going on in the market. It tells everything. It talks about demographics. It talks about trends. It talks about updates for the next year. There's so much in the market tab, right? I wrote down a couple things. So demographics, I just said that, tells you who's buying, what age, race, sex, familial status they are, so that you kind of know what's going on in the market. Morning, Baba. How are you? We're talking about the MLS system today, the multiple listing service. That's what we're talking about in our 50 terms of 50 days. So in the MLS system, these are, for people who are either buying or for new agents on the line. There's like 10 tabs that people never use. And so we're getting into the details of some of those tabs so that you can use the MLS system to your advantage. So that's what we're talking about right now. So, okay, tab number 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on tab number 5, market. So demographics are in there. You can use that to do your target marketing. Industry updates. I read industry updates almost every day. That's how I can get on here and run my mouth forever, because I know the market like the back of my hand. I know what I'm talking about. So they have industry updates in there. So maybe interest rates are going up. Maybe lumber is taking too long to get shipped. Maybe, I don't know, drywall prices are going up. Whatever is happening, it'll be in those industry updates, and you can figure all that out or read that or research that in the MLS systems. Parts of the MLS that people don't use much. Let's see. You can also get market stats. That's kind of up the same lane, like days on market. You can see how long things are taking. So when I open my MLS system, I have a huge grid, a color-coded grid that tells me everything that's happened in the past day, week, and month in the real estate market. And it'll show me all these trends. There are 50,289 houses on the market. 26,000 of them got an offer yesterday, like all that stuff. Most people don't want to know all that, but it does help to put your, if you're an agent, it's good to know. And if you're buying, it's good to know because it helps you put your offer together. And if you're selling, it's good to know because it helps you figure out how long it's going to take you to do it, right? Okay. You can also, this is a good one. Let me tell you, drum roll, please. This is a good one. You can look up agent production. And so we use that sometimes, like if I'm working with an agent, like if I get if I have a listing, if I have a house I'm selling and I get an offer from an agent, sometimes I'll look up their productivity, especially if I start to see like they don't know what they're doing. I'll look up the market activity or the agent activity, to see like how many transactions have they closed? Where are they closing transactions? You want to know that your agent is active. You can look up my agent activity and see that I've closed 5 million in sales today. Receipts. Okay, proof. So that's in there, and they also use that to do our awards every year. So I'm giving you all the background information. They use the market activity section. Hey, we'll be thinking, what's up? Thanks for joining. Y'all throw some hearts up for me. That's the way people know I'm on live. We're talking about the MLS system today. I'm doing my 50 terms in 50 days for buyers, sellers, investors, and agents who need a brush up on terms. And today's term is the MLS system. And so you as an agent, we like go in and we use our search, we look up properties, and then we're done. And there's like so much we can do in the MLS system. So that's what we're talking about today. So we're talking about agent activity, where you can go in and see how productive an agent is. All right. That was the market tab. So we're on tab number 6, policies. I can't sing. My mom is a singer, but I can't sing for nothing. You hear me? Okay. So policies. Now you can go in and look up rules and regulations, because real estate is a very regulated, highly regulated industry, as you can imagine, because we're dealing with people's money and equity. And we are like bonded. We have to, do all these classes, and you have to swear. Like there's so much that you have to do. I have like 4 licenses, maybe more than that. But there's rules and regulations, even to how you list a property for new agents that are here, even to how you put a property on the MLS. There's rules you have to follow. There's some things you can say and some things you can't say. And there's pictures you can, you have to do things in a certain way. And there's also this target button in there, so you can tell on each other. And I've only told on an agent one time, and because I don't do that. There's agents that sit there and they see, oh, this person didn't say this right, this person didn't say that right, and they're always hitting the target button and telling other agents. I don't have time for that. Let me tell you the one thing that I do though. When I see the term master bedroom, that I'll hit the button on, because that is not politically correct anymore. The U.S. has a huge history of slavery, and they found in studies that the United States is the one place that uses the term master bedroom more than anybody else, and you know why. Everybody else says primary bedroom, owner suite, main suite. We in the U.S. say master bedroom. So that is now not politically correct. It is frowned upon in the real estate industry. So if I see that, I will hit the button. But other than that, I don't really hit the button. G Mac Bay, good morning. How are you? I'm doing my 50 terms in 50 days today. We're talking about the MLS system, multiple listing service. All right, so that was policies, which is tab number 6. So it has your rules and regulations. It also has billing information for agents. and information on how you make information on how you make corrections to your listings, because if we don't follow some of those rules and regulations, agents on the line, y'all already know, they will fine us. If I put something in a place on the listing where I'm not supposed to, they'll fine you like $150, $250. So it's real. You know what I mean? It's real. Okay. Next one, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on number 7, products. Okay, so there are like 10 products that you can use for marketing inside of the MLS. Like I was saying earlier, even though I've been doing this for a decade and a half, keys to connect. Good morning. We're talking about 50 real estate terms in 50 days. Thank you for joining. Today's term is multiple listing service. Okay, so under the products tab, so we're on number 6, 7, whatever. Under the products tab, there are like 8, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. 9 or 10 different platforms, different products that we can use to help our real estate business. And some of these will benefit your buyers as well. So if you're a buyer, don't go anywhere. This will help you too. Now, I only wrote some of them down. Of course, there's a Teams link in there. A lot of us use Teams. Authentisign, that was one of them. Like I said, there were 9 to 10, but I just wrote a few down. Rent Spree. Oh my God, let's talk about Rent Spree. I am so in love with Rent Spree. First of all, it's free, okay? For the agents on the line, if you have rental listings, lease listings where you're working with an owner and they're leasing their property out, BJV 8488, thank you for joining. Pink Interior, thank you for joining. We're talking about 50 real estate terms in 50 days, and today's term is the MLS. So we're talking about Rent Spree right now, right? I love the Rent Spree platform. If you are an agent and you're renting a property out for someone, you can, Rent Spree has a link that you can put inside of your marketing, that when someone wants to come and they want to rent your property, you can send them that link to their text. You can send it to their email and they can apply right then and there. You can put it in your marketing. You don't even have to, y'all don't even have to have a conversation. They can take it right out your marketing and apply through Rent Spree. Now, this is why I love Rent Spree, because once they apply through that link that you send them or that they get from your marketing, it gives you so much information. Busy Loving Me, welcome back. My sister, what's up? So before I used Rent Spree, I had to go and I had to do the rental verification myself, the VOE, verification of employment. I had to do the VOR, verification of rent. I had to do the credit myself. I had to do the background check myself. I had to do all references. I had to do all that myself, which was time consuming. I didn't mind because it was my job, but it was time consuming. Rent Spree does all that for you, and it is free with your MLS membership. Okay, so if you have an MLS membership, you can get Rent Spree for free. Okay, now if you're someone who is renting a piece of real estate and you get a link that says Rent Spree, it's fine. It's super easy, very user friendly. You can go on there, you pay your $30, you click the button, fill out your information. It does everything for you. So now when you're back on the agent side, once the person fills out everything, you get this report and everything is there. It shows the credit report, the background check, and everything, and it makes it very easy for you to extrapolate the information and see if you want to deal with this tenant, and it makes it easy for you to send it to your client, your landlord client, and say, hey, this is what I have. Do you like it or not? All right, I'm getting off the subject, but that's one of the things inside of the products tab in the MLS system that you can use to help your leasing life be grand. Okay? All right, we're almost done. We're on the last 3. So there is a news tab inside of the MLS. It's way down at the bottom. Actually, when you log in, you'll see news there. I think it's on the right-hand side. But when you go to the search and all those tabs, it's kind of at the bottom. It tells you all the real estate news. Everything happening in real estate, it tells you. So that's a good one. There's also a support tab. So if you're having problems with the listing, if you're stuck, if you can't get through a certain part, because putting a listing in, like if you're for people outside the business, the listing is basically a home that you've been hired to sell. There's like so much information that you have to put in. Sometimes the MLS will get you stuck on something or won't let you go past something, or something is going on. There's a support tab. You can call the MLS and they will walk you through it. Or if you get dinged, if you get fined, and if you don't want to make that mistake again, they'll tell you how to fix that and how not to put that in there. There's a lot you can do with that. And lastly, there's an education tab in there. So that has all of our classes, updates, equal opportunity stuff that we have to keep up with, continuing education that we have to keep up with. So if there's any new agents on the line, almost hit the thing this camera's standing on. Down there in the educations tab, you can get a lot of information on classes that you can take to take your real estate business to the next level. I got hot apple cider today. So today's word was multiple listing service. And we talked about, for people who came in a little bit later on the chat, we focus more on how it helps buyers and sellers. So I'll go over some of that again. This is what I want y'all to do. Whatever agent that you're working with to do your buyer or your seller activity, tell them to set you up on a drip campaign. Tell them to set you up on a drip campaign. The drip campaign will allow you to get consistent updates on what's happening in the market that you're either purchasing in or investing in. So if you're a buyer and you're looking for a property, tell your agent, set me up on an auto search or a drip campaign. And that will give you real-time updates on properties that are hitting the market like this. Every time a property hits the market, you're going to get an email. Every time something goes under contract, you're going to get an email. So now you can do it how you want it. So when I have buyers that are looking, currently actively looking, I set them up to get every active property that comes out in their price point and desired location, right? If I have someone that just bought a home and they're now going to be investing in a certain neighborhood, and when I say investing in that neighborhood, I mean, if that's your home, you're paying a mortgage, you're, paying taxes, you're fixing the house up, you're investing in that neighborhood. I'll set them up on a monthly campaign so that anytime, properties sell or whatever, once a month, you're going to get an update so you can watch your equity. And that's the big part of this whole thing. You bought your house at $500,000, you want to watch your equity. 3 months later, somebody bought a house around the corner at $550,000. You might have just made about 40 grand. You know what I mean? It may not be comparable. You might have made 50, you might have made 25, but you made some money. And you need to know that. Even as a seller, tell your agent to set you up on a drip campaign. Because if you're selling in a certain area, you need to know what's selling over there. If a house around the corner, if you're listed at $400,000 and a house around the corner sold at $350,000, might be a problem. You need to know that. That's your competition. So I always set drip campaigns up for people who are buying or selling. Christine, welcome. Kenya, hello. Totally written, hello. Good morning. Thank y'all for joining in. So I'm kind of finished. I have challenged myself to do these 50 terms in 50 days. I thank y'all for joining me every day. I usually come on in the morning. I try to do it early while, you know how you get up and you're just kind of like laying in the bed, scrolling through IG. You do it, because I do it too. I do it, and you do it too. You know you do. You do it, and you do it. So I try to come online during that time, like before people. Now it's 8 o'clock. People are starting to get up and go to work now, so it's time for me to get off. But I try to come early in the morning. I have challenged myself and challenged all of you all for these 50 terms and 50 days. I'm going to come here every morning. Today is day 7. Today was MLS, multiple listing service. That's our term of the day. Stay tuned tomorrow for our next term of the day. Day 8 already. I can't believe day 8 is coming tomorrow. This has been fun. I was wondering if I could really do this. I'm like, can I get online 50 days in a row and look halfway decent? And were y'all here for day 3? Because I had an allergic reaction and my face was all broke out. my face was all broken out, y'all. Y'all know I'm gonna always tell you the realest. This was awesome. Definitely learned a few things. Thank you, Will Be Thinking. Thank you. I'm gonna do it every day. And you know what's interesting too? Even though I've been doing this 15 years, I'm learning too. Because I always look up the standard official term for my word of the day. I'm learning too. It'll be something that I use every day and I'm like, oh, I never thought about it like that. So this is beneficial for all of us. That's it, y'all. I gotta go. I got things to do and I know y'all do too. So stay tuned tomorrow around 7:30 a.m. for my next word of the day, okay? All right. See you later. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for spending time with me. You know how they say you could be anywhere in the world, but you were here with me. And I appreciate it. Okay. See ya.